YouTubers? This is your boy Amari Points here, bringing you the latest movie review. Today, I'm doing my latest movie review on DreamWorks How to Train Your Dragon. That's right, the live-action adaptation of the animated classic that we all know and love. As most of you already know the story, it is about a boy named Hiccup, who is played by Mason Thames, who befriends a Night Fury, who is later on named Toothless. All Hiccup wants to do is to fit in with the people of Burke, but things turn out different when he befriends Toothless. He realizes everything he knows about dragons is wrong, and with the help of Astrid, played by Nico Parker, and the rest of their friends, they find a way to save Burke from a huge giant dragon that is really massive. But I gotta say, this movie was great. I loved it. It was a hands-on adaptation of the movie, which again, it did have a few problems, but I looked past it. And again, it was still fun. We had Gerard Butler, come back as Stoic the Vast. No one else can play Stoic like he can, and I definitely gotta say, he brings this role to life. And we got a bunch of other people in this movie. Nick Frost as Gobber, and he nails the role. Again, this is straight up a hands-on, good live-action remake. Disney can learn something from this if they watch this movie. I know for a fact, if they do, they will for sure get every live-action movie right. Let's start off with the positives and negatives. First off are the positives. Seeing the movie shot in Ireland and the settings itself, every single part of Scotland, I believe, in Scotland and many other parts of Burke that were brought back to life, it was hands down perfect. I love how they made sure that it was all perfect. They got and made sure to bring Burke to life. I'm sorry if I'm stumbling, guys. I do apologize. But the settings for this movie were hands down perfect. They made sure to bring this astonishing world that we all grew up with almost a decade ago to life. And we really get to see Burke brought to life, without a doubt. I was blown away with how these shot-to-shots were amazing, and seeing all the great scenery as well. Another positive is, well, the musical score. The musical score for this movie, Dean DeBlos. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing his last name wrong. I think that he really was a good choice for directing this movie, and using the same musical score that they used in the animated movie was a good choice to bringing this to life, bringing this live action movie to life. And wow, I was just hands down blown away with how they brought the music from the anime movie to the live action remake. This was just so good. It made me feel like I was watching the animated movie again. And wow, DreamWorks legit wasn't kidding around when they made this movie. They made sure to bring the perfect musical score that they did with the animated movie into here. They wanted a new generation to witness what we witnessed when we saw the first animated movie, which was good. I have to say that with an honest face. I am so happy. I am so happy that they honestly brought the musical score into this movie. Because it would have been ashamed if they used different music for this movie. And I can say that with an honest face. Never have I witnessed a good live action adaptation to this movie like they did with this. And another positive is the cast themselves. Mason Thames and Nico Parker as our live action Hiccup and Astrid. Wow, they knew what they were doing. Mason and Nico were perfect casting choices. They definitely lived up to the legacy that was set almost a decade ago, as I said before. They lived up to the legacy of Hiccup and Astrid. Mason is for sure a good choice for Hiccup because he looks exactly like him. He really does. Mason, if you watch this, man, good job playing Hiccup. You are Hiccup. You are Hiccup for sure. You embody the role. Nico, as Astrid, you did great too. Continue to go far, both of you. I am cheering you both on, always. And Gerald Butler, Gerald Butler, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing his name wrong. As stoic, as I said, no one else can play stoic like him. He is stoic. I want him to continue this legacy that he has set in the animated movie. I loved him as this character, and seeing stoic in live action, wow, it was so good. Again, every single cast member in this movie, including Nick Frost as Gobber, even though they made him a bit different in this movie, Gobber is still Gobber, still the Gobber we know and love in the animated franchise. And again, the rest of the cast themselves, Mason Thames and Nico Parker, I love them. I want to see them grow in this franchise, in this live action adaptation of the How to Train Your Dragon franchise. I am looking forward to seeing these two nail it. And what I can say is that the rest of the cast themselves were so good. I was really invested with all of them. DreamWorks made a good casting choice with all these amazing casts. No one else could play Hiccup like Mason did. He is a good Hiccup for sure. And Nico, I don't see why everyone hates her for playing Astrid. She is a talented young actress who I want to see in future movies. Yes. I hope that she continues to live up to the hype and bring the badass Viking warrior that we knew and loved in the animated movies. That is something I really do love the most. And that's it for my positives, guys. On to the negatives. The one negative I actually have is that there were a couple of scenes that weren't in the movie that were in the animated movie. But I wish they could have added them. That was the only problem I had. I know it's not really a shot-to-shot adaptation, but there were a couple of scenes that I wanted to see in this movie, but I learned to get past it and still enjoyed myself. But there were, again, a couple of scenes that I wish were in the movie that I really wanted to see for sure. And that's it for my positives and negatives, guys. On to my rant. The live action adaptation of How to Train Your Dragon was hands down good. DreamWorks made sure to make this live action movie a really good one, because these days we've been seeing live action remakes from Disney and they've been a hit and a miss. And I think, as I said before, if Disney watched this live action adaptation of How to Train Your Dragon, they would really learn from it. They would learn to make good live action movies and make sure that there'll be something the audience would see. But How to Train Your Dragon was for sure a good shot to shot remake. I would really want to see this again because it is for sure something that I really loved. Even though, as I said, there were a couple of scenes that weren't in this movie from the animated movie. I wanted it in here. It was still fun. I had a blast with it, and I think Gerald Butler did a phenomenal job playing Stoic. Mason Thames as Hiccup as well, along with Nico as Astrid. She really embodies Astrid. I don't care what anyone says. She is going places. Nico, hands down, you're going places. Keep up the great work. Along with you as well, Mason and Gerald. You as well. You really are Stoic. I don't want to see anyone else playing Stoic but you. I'm looking forward to seeing how the future of this live action franchise goes, and knowing we're going to be getting the sequel to How to Train Your Dragon 2 in in 2 years. I hope that it is really much better, and we get to see Kate Blanchett as Valka, like we seen her in the animated How to Train Your Dragon 2. If we get her as Valka in the sequel, I will blow my mind. But again, DreamWorks really nailed it with this one. I really hope that they continue to make a great franchise like they did with the animated one, and make sure that this franchise is a huge hit, especially knowing it's in live action. I will not be disappointed if they did like what they did with How to Train Your Dragon and hands down made all three movies in live action. I really wouldn't. This just proves that a, a live action movie should be made with heart, and a good director, Dean DeBlos, he really made sure to come back as the director for this movie because, like he said, no one else should direct this movie but him. I honestly have to say, How to Train Your Dragon is for sure a movie that every single fan will want to see, and you will not be disappointed with this movie. I can promise you that. When you see this movie, you'll be blown away with how everyone gave a great performance. It really lives up to the legacy of the animated franchise. It really does. That is hands down what I can say. It was a perfect adaptation, and I don't regret seeing this movie whatsoever. Again, Disney can learn from this. They need to watch it. Disney needs to watch this and really enjoy themselves with this movie. And that's it for my rant, guys. On to the rating. I give How to Train Your Dragon 2025 a solid B plus. Hope everyone can see it. It's a B plus. Because I really did enjoy it. Again, the only problem I had was there were a couple of scenes that weren't added from the animated franchise. But the rest of the cast themselves, along with the settings of Burke, the director made sure to really capture the magic that we felt in the animated How to Train Your Dragon franchise. And what I can say about that is that No one can take this away. Literally no one. I really did love seeing this live action adaptation of the franchise I grew up with when I was a little kid. It was just full on perfect. I don't regret seeing this. I really don't. And what else I can say is that anyone who is a fan of this franchise, go see the live action remake. It is worth your money. You will honestly be happy that you saw it. And what else I can tell you is that you will be blown away with the magic of Berg and the dragons and seeing Hiccup, Asterix, and the rest of the gang in live action. It is something you for sure don't want to miss. And that's it for my movie review, guys. Don't forget to like, comment down below on what you guys thought of the live action How to Train Your Dragon movie. Subscribe and share with everyone you know. And press the little notification bell at the bottom of my video to get notified when my next movie review is going to be. I will see you guys soon. Take care and God bless. Peace.